Hey there guys, and welcome back. So if you are watching this live, then you know that this is a day late. Basically, I have been putting off finishing my workbench for a while now. I finally picked up the supplies and got that done yesterday instead of streaming. I was planning on streaming too, it's just finishing up the workbench took a little bit more out of me than I was expecting, so stream got moved to today. Anyway, as you can see, I got the drill bits put in here as promised. So, in theory, the only thing we have left to do is throw the 5mm rods in and do a couple of minor things. But I realized while I was putting the drill bits in that I made a little bit of a mistake here. Well, at least I overlooked something, I guess is the better way to say it. So, on my previous model, let's go ahead and pull up the previous model. Just to get a reference. Sort this back by name. Refresh. There we go. So on this previous model, I had this in pieces and it got assembled, right? Which meant that for the 5mm rods that we put in the bottom here. Actually, I should just delete the body. These guys could go in the bottom and then I would just assemble it around that. And that was no problem. Unfortunately, I can't put the 5mm rods in the bottom because we have these 3mm holes. So we'll have to fix that. Basically, what I'm gonna do here, and it should be easy enough, but I'm gonna just change this to a new component. Actually, I guess I gotta back up a little bit here. We'll have to delete that and recreate it to make it a new component. And we'll just have that screw on, is my idea. So sketches. See this guy. I think. Yes, that guy. From object there, minus 3mm. Actually, I'm gonna go minus 5mm. I'll double check the size, but basically, I want to make sure that the screws are countersunk to attach it. That is my plan. We will also have to put what do you call it? Inserts. I'll put some inserts into the bottom here in order to attach it. But beyond that, we should be fine. The punch. So obviously, as I have this modeled up, this is just a straight shaft right here. Because I'm going to need some space to screw this in, I'm thinking about shrinking this. But I might just be overthinking things, is the only question. Because if I put a screw here, let's say here, here, and here, just 3 screws, then that's probably good enough. So I probably don't need to do that. I just figured I'd mention it just in case I decide to go through with it. Probably not necessary. So, bottom, there we go. And now, back to putting in the 5mm rods. Yeah, I guess I will be. Yeah, alright. I will be modeling those guys, it looks like. Component. Rods. And, I don't think, because these aren't going to be printed or anything, I don't think I'll make them separate components each. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to draw them all. I mean, just extrude them all, rather, at the same time. Is my plan. So let's go ahead and project that out. And for each of those, we make a 5mm hole, just like we made a 3mm hole on the other one. The 3mm hole, in case you don't remember, was for the punch to go through, the center punch through, in order to knock the, or push rather, the drill bit up, out of. Oops, not like that though. Some of the, for example, this one, which should be the 10mm one, doesn't actually need anything. And frankly, one of those deals where, for the larger ones, I might not even put rods in there. I may actually leave them open, countersink rather, I should say. Countersink the back end. Because to begin with, let me really quick, I'm going to set up a whiteboard. I didn't think I was going to use it, but this is probably better to explain with. Whoops. Ooh. Ouchie. So, lights on. Lights are on, and we swap over to camera. So, where's camera? Camera. All right. So, and I was planning this. So, set up. Wait. Good enough. Good enough. All right. The countersink, right? If we compare this to whatever I just grabbed here, which is 9. Yeah, that's the 9. So you can kind of see, actually, if I put it down here on the, oh, you're not going to be able to see it down there on the edge. Let's see. I just want something to bring that out. So the 9mm is bigger than like 3/4 of this cone right here. Again, it's going to be hard for you to see from your angle, unfortunately. If I had another camera coming down the edge here in this direction, it'd be easier to see. But it's bigger than most of this, which means that up to right about here, at least for the 9mm, I can actually just leave plastic and this will be fine. So that's the point. So just to, since we already have the whiteboard out, just to draw it, this is my cross section, and then this is going to be the 10mm bolt to begin with, and obviously we don't need to put anything under there because the second I push up with the it's already going, right? There's basically no space to take up. For another large one that is not as tall, we may be able, just with the point, again the 3mm point is what we're going to be able to get through there, we may be able to get that far enough that it doesn't matter. But in case it doesn't and we kind of need a little extra space, we can just move the plastic, right? And again, if we make this whatever size this is, then we're not worried about wall thickness because we already accounted for that. And that just gives us whatever the distance is, you know, whatever extra distance fits within that diameter. So that's what I'm talking about there, and something we can consider for the larger bolts. I mean, not bolts, larger drill bits. So, let's. The other thing is, actually, you know what? If I just go over here, I'm gonna double check this really quick, because I'm pretty sure, but yeah, everything here. So it looks like we have a lot of space to work with here, but I've only given myself the 5mm. 5mm, just for the record. Let's see how deep that gets on the, because again, even for the smaller ones, we could do that. We could just leave a hole in the plastic, but 5mm does not get us much at all. Actually, as it turns out, the 3mm that I remembered from my punch is more or less just the tip. It's actually a 4mm punch. So I need to update the holes on the bottom to reflect that. So we'll do that really quick. Get out of here, sidebar. All that is this, because I equaled everything off the same hole. So I just need to change. So these are 4mm holes, which again doesn't change anything. And like I said, the 5mm distance doesn't really get us anything. So actually, you know what? Just to clarify this one point using the camera, the amount I would like to push up any given bolt is probably about the length of this. So assuming that all these bolts are at the top of the plastic when I start, so let's draw that in really quick. So assuming all these are aligned with the top of that plastic right there, I think this is more or less the minimum of what I want to be able to push it up. So if I eyeballed that up correctly, which it looks like I did, you know, that much sticking out the top should be enough to grab it, is the point. So, which is why I don't want to go much less than this. And again, this being 4 millimeters and 5 millimeters being like right here at the edge, right? We're not really going to be able to countersink the smaller bolt, only the larger ones. Bolts. I keep on calling them bolts. My brain. So, with that clarification out of the way, let's hop back into rods. And actually, let me take a quick look at. Let's see. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna hit Control Z. Oh, Control Y. Let us rods this over here. Yeah. Let's kick this to after I got the bolts in. That's the bottom. Yep, that's the bottom. So let's really quick just establish which ones I will be able to. So 7.5. 7.5 on the punch is like 4 or 5 millimeters, 5 millimeters, maybe 6, 5 to 6 millimeters. So if we just compare that one really quick, oops, actually, there and whoops, there and that face there. Okay, so that one is 25 millimeters up, which is way more. So I just want to get a baseline for which ones we can get away with not including a rod in. That is the point here. So 9 millimeters right there, and we get about 8 millimeters. So long as this is within 8 millimeters, then up to, that is not the correct thing. All right, so that is 11 millimeters. So not even that one. So at this point, it looks like it's going to only be these two. The other ones are going to need a little bit of help. So the other thing is, I'm saying 5 millimeter rods. I have those, so I had bought those for the previous build, right? I had bought 5 millimeter rods for this plan right here, and I never used them, which is why I'm kind of chomping at the bit to use them. But they could be extruded plastic in theory. You know, they could be plastic plugs. The fact of the matter is that when you put the drill bit back in, even if the plug is a little tight in there, you'll be able to push it down from this side, and obviously push it up from this side with the punch. Albeit, being as my punch is spring-loaded, might not be ideal. The other thing is that plastic dents, so as you're pushing this, as you're pushing a plug, you know, if you go with a plastic plug instead, it may not be the best idea to use plastic, just because if it's too tight, the punch may, I mean, heck, the punch may just actually go straight through. But regardless, again, these two we are actually going to do separately. So everything else will be 5 millimeters. Yeah. One. That was weird. There. Two. As for how all this interacts, we will have to fill in some plastic to A, make sure the 5 millimeter rods don't go out the bottom, and B, not go out the top, and for the drill bits not to in theory, go out the bottom. Basically, if we take the... I'm from the bottom still, right? Yes, from the bottom. So if we take the 1mm, which is right here, we take the 1mm drill bit right here as an example, with a 5mm opening right below it, that would encourage the drill bit to just fall through, right? And kind of get stuck sideways. We want to attempt to avoid that, so we'll see what it looks like, see whether or not it's necessary to worry about at any rate. Just double checking that I got everything. Looks like I did. So get back in rods, things, and I said I was going to do them all at the same time, but that's literally impossible. So we will not be doing it all at the same time. And furthermore, let's see. Okay, actually, it just occurred to me. Actually. I have some extra space around here. It is the wall thickness that I was trying not to eat up. I was just thinking whether or not for a couple more of these I could just make the opening bigger. But I think they get shorter at enough of a rate that it's not really going to help. It's interesting that these two appear to be at the same. Oh, okay, that's why. That is one of the counter ones I'm looking at. No, that's the one on the outside. So it looks like that's 10, 9.5, 9, 8, and 7.5 look like they're the same size. Model. Let's see if I can't confirm that one. 8 and 7.5. This is my 8. My 8. And then 7.5. 7.5. Wow, I'm pretty good at that. No, they should not be the same size. So my model is slightly wrong, which isn't great. Let me just hop back up here to the top level just to make sure that I'm seeing this correctly. And 9.5, 9, 8, and 7.5, and they are both aligned on both engines. Okay. So yeah, that's, like I said, not great. That is, I'm gonna have to fix that. Let's hop up in here. In here. Do I have that as a parameter? Not as a saved one, but these are all components. So 7.5, the extrude length. Huh. It has a name. So I came back in and named it. Interesting, okay. I came back in to name it, but I didn't save it as a favorite or anything like that. So, right quick. This is supposed to be 110, which it is. So the 8mm one, incorrect. Extrude. No, that says 116. What is going on here? 7.5. 8. Yeah, that's clearly different size. So the model is correct. Let me look over here. See, that's funny because the model is not correct over here. It doesn't look like either. So what is this? This is 8.5. Oh, 8 and 8.5. Evidently, I can't count. 10, 9.5, 9, 8, and 8.5. Okay, so evidently I cannot count. 10, 9.5, 9. Okay, yes. So, try to sort out that confusion then. That's a 6.5. Dude, where's my 8.5? $8.5 may not exist. 9, 8.5. There we go. So 8 and 8.5, huh? Okay, they are the same length. Okay, crisis averted. Okay, excellent. Excellent. So let us do really quick. Okay. Give me just a second with my computer because it occurred to me that I might have something running I meant to turn off. I'm pretty sure I do. But it's on the other user. And I can't remember the last time I attempted switching users, whether or not that totally killed me. Alright, we are going to attempt to hopefully not destroy the stream. Actually, you know what? Alright, well, I'm hoping the stream quality is not terrible. Alright, first off, bitrate. Bitrate's at 66. What's it supposed to be? What is? Setting. What is my bitrate supposed to be? Alright, I guess it's not under setting. Basically, I had something running that was taking up bandwidth that I know that I meant to turn off before we started. I don't see any dropped frames, and I'm not sure what my bandwidth is normally at. I don't pay that much attention. So, hopefully, it is not a terrible experience for you. I will make sure that is turned off next time. So, back to getting this all set up. Again, I'm going to have to extrude each of the rods individually to get them the same way. You know what? I can cheat a little bit here. For the rods that are smaller than their drill bits, we can just, I think that's all of them. Cut. New body from object. And we want these inside, or from the body rather, not from the bottom. I'm gonna say inside the butt. Say that, and the smallest, I guess the lowest off out of the ones I have selected, the highest one rather. Looks like it's gonna be this guy right here. 7 millimeters. Oh, whoopsie. Let's delete that. Go back here. That guy. And from object, set that there. Alright, cool. Pretty sure that's the lowest one. Or the highest one. Unless that guy in the middle. No, that guy in the... Actually, that one goes all the way down. Should skip that one. This guy right here I'm talking about. Yeah, it looks like that one does. So that is this guy, it looks like. Whoops. Oh. Back out and get set. Go. Okay, cool. So that's new body right there. And then, you know, I was thinking I was going to just be able to combine all the bodies at once. It occurs to me I can't, so It is. All right. So what I was gonna do is I was going to combine cut, and I was thinking I was just gonna grab all these guys as the target bodies, and then all the drill bits as the full bodies. But you can only select one target body, so it actually does make more sense to go one by one. So this is gonna take a hot minute. There's that one. From object. There. To object. That is in line. It is. Okay. Actually. So I'm thinking one of those things where I think I'm gonna just save this for off stream, because honestly, basically two things are gonna happen. So I'll do this once. I'll do, well, maybe not once. I'll do a couple, which I'll do the big ones and then the small one here. So at this point, now that I have this right, we need the cutout for this. And my plan was, so as previously discussed, okay? Ready? As previously discussed. With the tip of the punch only, I have 27 millimeters. So, in order to keep the drill bit straight, as I was talking about, I was going to create the 5 millimeter hole 27 millimeters from the bottom, because that's the as much as it can actually extend. So, from object here, show us what I'm talking about. Okay, gotta come back to body for this one. From object here, offset minus 25, or 27 rather. Then distance to object. Really, it should just be all, if we're being completely honest. Yeah, it really should be all. It's never going to be anything other than all. So, I'm going to do all then. And flipperooski. And make sure we're only cutting the body. Okay, now let me grab a section analysis here so we can see what's up here. To that over to, where's my, there's later, the 1 millimeter. May not. If I zoom in, oh, actually, I can just enter numbers, can I? So we're too much right here, so nice. A little less than nice. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So, as you can see here, where's my rod at? Good bunch of men. That's my rod, right? Section analysis off. Where's the rod at? Oh, okay. I see what happened. It came up body 1. This should be 1 millimeter rod. Okay. So let me fix this one then. Cut, object, cut. Body, oh no, that says body and not 1 millimeter. So, okay, there it is. I don't know why it wasn't appearing there before. Boom. Could not explain. Anyway, let's turn the section analysis back on. Yes, see, there it is. So, as you can see, this right here between the top of this and that is 7. Obviously, extruded that. Be hilarious together. All right, there. From object. There. There. Okay, that's what I meant to do. Okay. I meant to go 27 millimeters because this is the length that we will push the 5 millimeter rod up. And the point that I wanted to make here with the cross section is now we have this distance right here, which admittedly is not a lot, but that stabilizes the bit so the bit doesn't want to twist and turn inside of that its hold. So yeah, again, only 7 millimeters, only like a quarter of an inch, but that's better than nothing. For other it's probably going to be, it should be, I imagine, a little bit better. We can actually just go ahead and hop in right here to find out. Again, we make the rod first from the bottom. Let's turn off section analysis. And that is that guy there. To from that face. Distance to object. That face. And here, it seems like I have clicked the wrong. So, oh, it looks like I probably grabbed the whole rod instead of just the face of the rod. There we go. That makes it easier. All right, here's the one. That's a body, correct. 5 millimeter rod. Again, that's the corresponding drill bit, not actually the rod itself. Then, same deal. From object, turn this body off real quick. Turn that body back on. Off, round, and make sure we are only cutting body. Okay. And now we can come back with that section analysis. And oh, actually, oh, I forgot to put the offset. I'm a derp. Do back over here, do that, and minus 7 plus 27. Okay, there we go. All right, section analysis. So from here, that is 12 millimeters. Yeah. So, like I said, as we go, it's going to get better. How much the plastic is holding of the drill bit should get better in theory. So that's the idea. So this thickness right here will help keep the drill bit straight up and down as opposed to canting inside there. And then we have just 27 millimeters to push the rod with. All right. Now, I want to hop over, change gears a little bit here. Turn this off, and let's get these guys situated real quick. So, it is just these two, correct? Let me look at the sketch again. 1, 2, yeah, just the last two, 9.5 and so what I'm looking at here is we come back over to here, we delete this equals sign, and actually just make that the full size for both of these here at the bottom. So now the bottom, turn that body back on, has those fully cut out, and then we can come back in on this sketch, which is the not that sketch, right? Not that sketch. The rod sketch. Come back in onto the rod sketch. Turn some stuff off so we can start looking at. And change these to 3mm. Make that solid. 3mm. 4mm, sorry. 4mm. Millimeter. And then we can go ahead and just extrude a little bit of plastic. Turn the body back on first. So we can just extrude that out from the bottom to give it something to fall up against. So from the bottom of that, -3. Fine. We join. I'm going to turn the... I shouldn't have to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Turn the drill bits off. Just to make sure nothing wonky happens. Come back over here. Same sketch. Already on. That guy. From object. That 3. Just in case something weird happens here, I'm gonna go to object and use that just in case. Now we'll put the bottom back on. Bottom. Now you can see that we can get the what you call it in there, and we lose about 3mm just because we need a floor for the drill bit to sit against. But we do gain, you know, back to however much. So that is that change. Again, would have been nice to do it for more of them, but unfortunately the center punch is just too big for that. Next up, I'm going to color this really quick. Let's make it green. Okay, cool. Next up, we need to toss some attachment to the bottom here. And I will go ahead and use that construction. Whoops. That construction plane. This is bottom of body. I'm pretty sure that's bottom. So we'll toss some connection points in here. Turn these guys off. Drill bits. There. All right. I don't know how I lost all my projection. We will attempt that again. I only really need the bottom. All right, good deal. So, one of these things. Let me look at my, what do you call them? Shirts. All right. I forgot these are not labeled. So, so what I was looking for is, I'm hoping I have 2.5mm ones in here instead of just 3s and larger, because I would like to take the smallest I can, use the smallest I can. I'm just actually opening it up on my phone, my order history, to see if I can't find it, see if it's still available. Let's see, what are these again? Inserts. Right, there it is. Oh no, that's the one I have for woodworking. There's the one I have for plastic. Sizes. Okay, we do have 2 and 2.5. For 2mm. I don't. I only have Phillips head for. Oh no, I do have 2mm Phillips. All right, cool. So we will use that then. Just for the record, in case you weren't familiar and haven't seen my other streams where I talked about it, for anything under 3mm, I don't like using hex head. Hex head insert. What heck you call it? Button heads with the inset hex. So button heads have inset hex. I don't like using those for smaller than 3mm because they tend to rip out. Yep, there was my hand. I finish sketch here. And by rip out, I mean strip out. They tend to strip out when you get to that small of an inset hex. So, and I don't have an image. I don't have any models for these guys, so I'm just gonna have to take some quick measurements. And I don't see any need to use anything. Actually, it looks like I only have one side. Whoops. Don't run away. Alright, I caught it. Okay, I do have multiple sizes of the 2mm. So the question is, how I don't really see the need to. You know what? I guess I'll use the large size ones just in case. So here, while I'm doing this, I'll go ahead and kick you over to camera just so you have something to look at. So, I just got to sort out the larger ones here. I wanted 3 of them. Get back here. Yeah, okay, that's the size. Cool. So there's that. And then, let's see. I got a 3mm floor. These guys are 4mm. That's 7mm minimum. And then the head on this guy is. The head of this guy will be countersunk actually, so I might be able to get away with these 6s. 6mm talls, assuming, well, this is definitely at least a millimeter. Yeah, 1.5 millimeters. So, we'll go ahead and use the M2x6s in here. There we go. And that is everything I need. So these boxes can go back away. And we can go back to designing. I'm pretty sure the pan head is going to be, these are pan heads, but I'm pretty sure this distance is going to be uniform for all of them. Okay, well, let me check the parameter. Head thickness 1.7. Yeah, that's probably correct. Again, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be the same all the way around, but I wanted to double check. So, we can turn you off wherever you're at. There you are. And then we just want to go ahead and position you guys. I guess I'll toss a equilateral triangle in here. That, yeah, alright, again, do not do the esports, the FPS esports mouse act. How do I center this? Yes, well, I mean, I could just create a circle and then center the circle. Yeah, you know what? What I'm doing here is silly. Let's just create the circle and center the circle. And I shouldn't be able to change the angles here, right? Yeah, they should all be 60. Correct. So I can just do this, click that, that. Alright, cool. Make this concentric. And then I can take a line straight out, and we can set the angle of this relative to that line. Which honestly, well, distance and angle. Let's see. Do I have a, I forget, do I have a circle in another sketch here that I can base off of? It looks like I do, yes. So let me project that guy. Oh, actually, it would be both of these guys. That should be 3mm, right? This first sketch. Guessing. Open up this first sketch really quick. Nope, that's 1.5. Alright. So, anyway, my point is that I wanted to go straight between that. I was thinking I wanted to go straight between that, but this guy does overlap a little bit. It should be fine. So, point being, where I was going with this, that off. Guy back up. And I designed this sketch on the wrong... Oh no, this is in the bottom. Okay, cool. I saw the pink right here, and I thought that was the same color pink as right here. So, that was my confusion there. So, anyway. I guess I will do 1.5 divided by 2 to get it right between. And, again, where I had this before, I think it's probably optimal. So, plus line here, then just set that move. Huh? Okay, there we go. Alright, yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with that. Okay, so we have these 3 points. Put these two attached to, and this is head dia. They're all cool because it's countersink. And this does, for the record, mean, oh no, that's right, I made the bottom like 5mm, so we are 100% fine. I already looking thick as the fact that I would be countersink. And 1.5 plus 3, or 1.7 plus 3 is nearly 5mm, which is what I made it to begin with, which means that we definitely more or less where I want. I could make it a little bit thinner, but no sense worrying about it. So, body. There. Minus head thickness. Okay. And then grab that holes in. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let us go ahead and just do this at the same time while we're here. Two-sided. Since all that side is fine, the other side will be actually, shoot, that's right. Bottom, but oh no, it's still 3mm on the bottom. It's a little less than that. I'm thinking I may need to swap out to 8mm long M2s. I will leave that decision for later. Otherwise, we can just go ahead up 6mm to be safe into the body. There we go. And make sure we're not cutting important. We aren't. And so technically there is a size that you're supposed to make the holes for these inserts. I'm just kind of assuming that, so on the outside it measures, my assumption, let me just finish the thought, is that the wall thickness is so thin that it really doesn't matter on these M2 specifically. On the M3s or bigger it may, but the OD on the smaller part of the wall is 2.65. I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, because it's been a while since I've used these, you're supposed to go with that 2.65 and then the knurls will catch everything else. My only point being is that if that's the case, then I shouldn't actually be extruding this right now into the body. Actually, I could still extrude it into the body. And then we will just hop back up to the body. And hide the bottom really quick. From here, we're off by 0.6, right? So we'll just put a new offset in here of 0.3. And that gets us to 2.6. Technically speaking, it was 2.65 according to my calipers, but I'm rounding. So, if I just, I'm looking at it in the plastic, it does look like maybe I should have rotated this around a little bit more, so that it was more over here. Go ahead and do that. Actually, that would be this direction. So maybe I just go linear this. Would that be that direction? I was trying to get over here. That's a little far to go. How's that look? Actually, you know what? That may be fine. Somewhere around here. 14. Round number. Sketch. Alright, yeah, that's a bit more speed. With the exception of the guy. Check. Quick here. Minimum distance 1.16 is kind of bad. I could. So I kind of wanted to keep it symmetric just because aesthetics. Obviously, this is all Swiss cheese down here to begin with. So I may just say screw it and make this not an equilateral triangle. So if I do that, then which is, oh, okay, that's, so that is what's throwing me off a little bit. I was gonna say I don't see the big hole on here, which is why positioning looked correct to me, but oh, that's right, that is why, because this is on a circle and I already have that angle set. That would explain that one. So I would have to take this off the circle and then drag this guy. Pretty sure that guy's fine there, and this guy should be fine here. So, one of those things, it's not constrained, but that's probably where I want to put them anyway. So, I'm not going to worry much more about it. Alright, so the last thing I'll do on stream, because again, putting the rods in and creating the little holes for the rods is just kind of busy work. It's not really interesting or worthwhile. So the last thing I will do on stream, I think, is Well, actually, there's two things. I still haven't made the lid, which is something I keep on forgetting about every single time I look at this project. And the second thing, what I was actually thinking, is throwing in slots for spare, whatchamacallums, spare bits. Slot. Do that one. Gonna toss these like this. And then we can toss our offsets. That tangent. Yeah, this is, so it's one of those things. I wanted to use this tool because it makes nice, right? It makes nice looking slots. But my slot is also not kind of, but it's very arbitrary, So for example, just doing it like this, right? It doesn't quite look right. It doesn't quite end up looking like how I would like it. So tangent it here and here, the point of that is to get it centered on this wall. And then this tangent right here is to make sure that it's away from this hole right here. I should say tangent here and here also gives me the wall thickness that I need. But more importantly, doing both of them at the same time ensures that it's centered. But as you can see, that makes my circle super big, which just kind of looks weird, in my opinion. Like, I almost should just use a circle here. The only reason why I'm not is because what is this diameter? The reason I'm not is because I did want a slot. I didn't want to just dump the whatchamacallits in there into a single circle. So this is a 5mm radius, 10mm diameter. That's actually not that large. Thinking about it. This is my 10mm right here. Comparison. That's my 9mm. 10mm right here. Nope, that's 9.5. There's the 10mm. Still in the box. Yep, 10mm. So I'm just taking this right now. I know I'm not on camera right now, but I just wanted to compare it to the 1mm box that I have. Cylinder. That's the word I'm looking for. 1mm cylinder case. And it is basically 10mm diameter. It looks near, if not then. So that is what I'm looking at for the slot size. And if I take this, you know what? Since I'm doing extensive work over here on the desktop, let's just pop the camera back on. So again, this is what has my 1mm in here. If I compare that to, and again, trying to hold it sideways for you to see, it's about the same size as my 10mm. So that's just for reference, the slot size that we're looking at. And the next thing I was going to do was grab these guys out really quick and see how many I can fit of these 3mm, which are always a pain in the butt to open up. And I normally grab a knife. There we go. Stay. All right. How many of you guys can I fit in here? Actually, you know what? Math would suggest 3. It just, quick maths would suggest about 3. Because 3 times 3 is 9. Obviously, they don't stack up exactly 3 by 3. So, okay, I can almost barely fit the fourth one here. So, that's not very much. Now, granted, if we go back to CAD, whoops, sorry, hit the mic, my bad. Back to CAD. YouTube back up. There we go. It's not a strict circle, right? It is a slot. So we can fit a little bit more than that. It's still not quite enough, honestly. Although this is just spare space, it is what it is, kind of. Where I was going with this is, I was thinking about shrinking this down and trying to fit 2 slots side by side, but upon further reflection, that's probably not worth it. So, here's the other minor change I'll do. Let's make this solid. Make this 3. Then I can delete this. I still want, no, don't delete that. Delete this. There we go. And drag this over to here. Like that. Actually, not like that. No, not like that. I guess I kind of want it like this. That side is a little too far. But the idea is just squaring off, basically. So this is my leeway. This 3mm radius or offset here is my leeway for the wall angle, wall thickness rather, which means that this highlighted area is what I can actually. It does look a little bit ugly, so one of those things I may instead do this. And try to line this up, I guess like that is how I would line it up to the front end, because again, this where it slides right here is the more important part, or at least the farthest part back, I guess the way I should say it. Do that. Turn that off, and then make this quinky dink with that. Okay, and then I can toss another one in here for the backside, and we can just again grab the one closest, that's closest, and decide what this is. You know what? Actually, Alright, I'm gonna simplify this drawing a little bit. We're gonna get rid of this stuff. So basically what I have is an inner and outer ring when it boils down to it. And then I can just split up with these guys. I think that's the easiest way to get this drawn. Instead of using multiple arcs, it should be easier just to draw myself my 3mm offset right here, my 3mm offset on the backside, 3mm, and then drop this point on that circle, click that, and then line that. Actually, you know what? Yeah, see, that's the problem, right? Because this is too close to the middle here. So, if anything, I guess this really should be tangent to there. I'm just losing this area right here. So if I make this area and this area get killed, right? That's what I'm losing out on, in theory. But it does look nicer, so we're probably going to stick with that. And then this guy, 3mm offset. drop here. Turn construction. Not sure how you got here. These lines don't necessarily need to go all the way out here because we're not going to create this slot that far back. That. Then I can decide how I want to divide this. So if I just check the quick measurement here. Yeah, about 10 millimeters like we were talking about before. So I probably want a little bit more than that. It doesn't look like I can go much more than that. And still, what are you doing? Why does nobody want to actually connect to that center dot point? So if all these are equal, I don't think I can actually fit. Again, that actually wanted to be a little bit larger. I don't think I can fit all three in here. Yeah, that's definitely not going to fit. So at that point, we just kind of want to bisect this angle. And driven angle, then that divided by 2. There we go. There's a bisected. And those are my slots. So, oh, shoot me. That's not gonna work. It can work though. It can work. All we have to do is put these guys in. Put a point on these guys. Point on each of these guys. This inner circle is their closest distance. Pretty sure. Unless I'm wrong. And plus another point there. Five. 1.5. This may not have actually been the easiest way to do this, the cleanest way to do this at this point, but it's done now. It's done. Bodies. I guess we may as well just go the whole distance? Question mark. Yeah. Just in case I need to put a spare large bolt in here. -3. May as well cut the whole thing. Obviously, my 1mm bolts are going to be literally at the bottom. What happened to you? Oh, that's right. You know, I wish after 2object it would automatically default to offset. And now Fusion is rolling. Good. Good. I'm just body. Please, Fusion. Please. Alrighty. Gonna work this time. Where it's gonna work this time. -3. There we go. Alright. So now we just need the lid. Okay. The lid. Honestly, it's one of those things. It technically works. We technically can put screws on the outside here. I like the screws better. Putting the screws on the outside won't necessarily need supports, technically speaking. Technically in quotes here. You can get away without doing supports. You could also put a custom ledge in just to improve that whole entire situation. which we might do. We could consider it. And not so much even a ledge. We could actually just do a loft slash cone shape to get there. But the point is that I do like the threads. Yes. Having it thread close. So we will go ahead and do that. Not full length, modeled. And yeah, I guess 10 millimeters is fine with me. That's the only option. So I guess we'll go with it. 6G is better than 4. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and make it bigger. Holy cow. Did that really? Going from 63 to 64, we really jump up to 6 millimeter threads? Is that right? Oops, that is not. But I'm gonna go to 65. Interesting. Let's go back to 64 really quick. Okay, I do have the option to go to coarser threads. But, from the looks of it, we're actually getting too close to the wall to begin with. So, let me really quick grab this. This is 63. It is 63. 63 plus 3 is 66. So, that threads has this face, not full length, 10 millimeters was fine. So let's go 66. Unless I can't click 66. Oh, there is no 66. All right, 68 it is. Modeled. And then let's drop this down a bit. Let's see, that is 1, 2, 3. 3 turns. I kind of want it a little bit more. Actually, that's right. This is the thread pitch. So it would be, we're at 5 turns. 10 divided by 2. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm going to back up really quick before we do that. And come in here. Make the lid right quick. Turn the body off. I already know this is going to be 68 actually, so let's make this 68 to begin with, and then we'll go 3 millimeters above that. And get you. Oh shoot, I forgot to start a new component. My intent. New component. Lid. Grab. Project. Off. $68. Okay, not concentric. That's better. 3 extrude, 3 millimeters off top, and 10 millimeters off the bottom. Actually, I shouldn't extrude the other side yet. Just then extrude the other side because we only want the lid. That makes -10. Join. Okay. All right. Now back to our thread. Those threads. Oh, did that extend my whole entire body? That did. Okay, right quick, we are going to hop back into body. Let's turn the lid off really quick. Offset U, -10. Okay, split that body by that. Okay, put the threads on. Make sure that nothing walks here. Okay, yes, something wonky is going on. Just that, please. Thank you. And that is technically full, so we'll be fine. Then we can hop back up here. Actually, before I do that, bind these guys back. Then we'll go back to lid, body, lid, threads. $68, and we were at 2. Modeled. 8. I will be throwing offsets in here off screen. I actually cannot remember what I use for offsets on threads, on printed threads. Is part of the problem. So I'm gonna have to do some test prints to make sure I got that sorted. Then for the body, back to, actually, you know what? Maybe what I will, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. For the taper here, there's a couple different ways to do it, right? Which way do I like doing it better? So there's the loft, and then there's actually revolve. We can revolve if we want to. Which way do I like? I'm actually going to do a revolve because it's a bit easier to get out of these instructions. That is what I want. Doing the revolve a little bit easier to get the exact angle on it. So if I wanted to loft all the way down to the bottom, make it one long taper, that would actually be easier to do the loft for. But as is, I don't think I want that. I think I'm just going to put a little lip right here to help the printing process, as opposed to doing the full size. What is this? That's that. As opposed to doing the full length taper. What I'm trying to say. I don't have the bottom. I need the bottom. Okay. And the reason I need the bottom is because I need to draw a line straight up here. I guess just this to make sure I have my right angle. And then we can winky dink it up. Turn the lid off for now. Winky dink up here, wherever you end up. And now, I just need to make sure that this is printable. Which is like 45. So again, this 45 is more than enough for the printer to get out to the threads. Which is why I'm doing this way. So we revolve this around our axis, turn the body back on, we button, and now it has basically this support material right below the threads in order to print up there. It will be able to print in between threads without support material in my experience, so that should be fine. And again, because this is such a small area, it doesn't look that weird to me, right? It just kind of looks like the bottom of the threads. If we needed a more gradual look to it, then again, we could just loft it up. We could just basically, let me turn the bottom back on. We could undo this combine, would probably be the way to do it. We could undo the combine, turn this body off, and I believe we should be able to do this. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily like that one, but I could make a sketch up here for the top part, and then just loft there to there, create a new body, and then divide the body up, combine it to cut it with the other bodies, and then combine it to join it with the other body. So that would be the alternatives. But as is, this works well enough for me. The reason I am not doing screw on the bottom is because it actually should never come off, for the record. So that is why this is bottom of threads. If for some reason we wanted this bottom to come off, then I very well may have it screw onto the bottom. And actually, because it's the bottom, I probably would put the internal screws on the inside here and have the male screws. So the female screws on the blue body and the male screws on the body is how I kind of would hope we'd be able to make it, just because that makes more sense to me logically, and by logically I mean emotionally. So you should just be body, honestly. all right. So we just this red, not red. You're red. And then where's the sketch at? Rods. Goodbye. All right. And I got one more sketch in the lid, don't I? All right. So that is the drill bit holder. Again, I will finish hollowing it out for the rods. I already showed you how that functions and how it works, so you should be able to understand that one not too bad. Again, the rest of this is just busy work. It's just repeatedly cutting out and then applying offsets is the other thing I need to do. And that's all stuff that can happen off screen. Not really anything to learn from that, I don't think. So that does officially conclude this project. One of those things, I guess I very well may make a video of this one. Videos are always a little bit weird when it comes to things I own, just because other people may not get any use out of them. I think probably the drill bits are standard sizes, so that's probably safe to make a video out of. In other news, talking about videos, I did record the rest of the footage for the Carvera add-ons, so now all that's left is to edit that. Obviously, I have the big project to edit, but frankly, content needs to go out. So the Carvera add-ons will be put out before that one even gets anywhere near close to editing, the big one. And I will probably do a couple more smaller videos while I'm editing the big video. Beyond that, I'll here to wipe out the whiteboard. Thanks to be me. Let's see. I think we are at this point in the same place we were last weekend, or not this past weekend, but weekend before that, where I only have small projects right now to do on stream that I could do on stream, and even then, you know, because they're small projects, I'm not even so sure I want to do them on stream. I'll see how I feel about that. I have obviously Carvera video to edit, and then a Carvera add-on video, I should say, to edit, because I also wanted to do Carvera review and a follow-up on the examples, a follow-up video on the examples. So that's 3 Carvera videos that I have. So 2 of them are recorded, the third one is not. 2 of them need to be recorded and edited and released. And then I also have another project that I mentioned last weekend that I want to start and get done pretty quickly, but it's all offline. It's nothing really interesting to design, here on stream. So that's the third video, and you can look forward to that one. That one's going to be a bit of a surprise. But that is the situation as we are right now. I, again, don't have any major plans for stream. Sorry. That popped up on the wrong screen. There we go. So, yeah. Don't have much else to say. Unfortunately, I wish I had more to say. It's just, I have a lot of work to actually just get done, frankly speaking. So, wish me luck. I will attempt to get my work done as quickly as possible. And, yep, that's it for me. So, 20-minute outro is now over. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great and wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world. And I will catch you